Hello Pisces, thank you for tuning into your general read. Yes, the general read. This week I'm doing a couple different decks I've had, though for the main read I'm using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle deck by John Holland. It says it's a tarot deck. I feel like that's very loose. It's more of an oracle deck. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm kind of using two. I'm also using the Magical Unicorns Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. Yeah, PhD she has on there. You know, it's always, you know, what comes off the cards. I know some people don't care for more fantasy cards if you want to, but oh my god, that's a lot. It's usually pertinent. It's the messages that come off it. That's the whole thing. I really don't have a problem with any decks. If they're beautiful, that's nice, but it's mostly about if the messages, if I can get messages off them, so be it. Alright, Pisces. You got like a couple stacks of cards here, and I wasn't expecting that. This deck likes to do that, which is probably one of the reasons I don't use it too often, because it gets really deep sometimes. We'll see how this goes. You're coming into this with the crown chakra. Now the crown chakra is coming, like the whole situation is coming in with the crown chakra. This is usually like things working in a very, everything's on point in a spiritual sense. For a starting off card, this can be very vague in the sense of like, especially for example, if it's a work situation, it's not that everybody's getting what they want. It's about things moving forward or spiritual lessons being learned. This, sometimes I've seen this come through, like it's denoting a time, maybe going through hard times, but a place where everybody is evolving and people are moving forward. This is not just like a mundane moment. This is usually people are growing. People are advancing. People are, you know, going to their higher knowledge. I feel like it's a vague way to start, but this is the card that came out, so there you go. For most of you, though, I'm getting the situation is not good at the moment, or not coming from a good place. It seems like it's coming from a hard place, but there are a lot of people, feels like all angles is what they're telling me. People advanced. People, like, they got their spiritual lessons. Usually spiritual lessons, it's not ice cream and cake moment. It's more of, like, hard work and getting past things and finishing things up. So this is feeling more like a hard moment, but people advancing, people emotionally going forward. When I'm seeing what you're taking from this, I'm seeing the daydreams and decisions. It's almost like something finished off. It doesn't feel like it was the easiest situation. It does feel like it finished off, though. And, you know, what's done is done, and you're picking yourself up and you're thinking about where can I go next? For example, if this was job-related, that job ended. If it's family-related, it's probably more along the lines of, like, it could be like a difficult medical situation, a breakup, a divorce, a passing on. These are not, like, if it's family, it's like there's a change or something people went through. Like if it was like a sickness somebody went through, it was very tough on a lot of people, including the person who had the sickness. But that situation is over. It doesn't mean they met their demise. It just means that it was very, very difficult. And you were a part of that. Because I'm getting, if that's how it was, for example, say it was somebody had a heart attack, you're moving forward and you're just kind of like, well, I have the same genes, or I have similar genes to this part. Like I have some common ancestry with this person, clearly. And I don't want to go through the same problems. For example, maybe you're like, oh, I eat a lot of sweets, or I eat a lot of fatty foods, and I feel like I have the same type of body type. Because, you know, especially people having heart attacks, you don't have to be overweight to have a heart attack. I've seen people very thin who have high cholesterol and have heart attacks. So it's just like you're seeing a common line, and you're thinking like, well, I don't want to go on the same line as they did. I have similar ancestry. I can see this being a problem for me. And you're taking from this, like, what do I need to do to make sure I don't end up in that same boat? All right. That's not an easy situation, though, because I'm getting it starts in your thoughts. But if that's how this is working, you're not the only one feeling that. And I'm getting, like, yeah, well, okay. If it's the family thing, I'm getting like there's a couple of you trying to move forward, thinking this out, and trying to move forward together. And I know I'm switching back and forth between lines here, and I apologize for that, but it feels like it's necessary. If it's the business line, for example, that situation is over, you're actually looking to change careers, is what I'm getting if this hits for you. Because you got the battles and the win to lose. Either way, whatever you're moving forward to, it's taking some effort. You're going to have to buckle down. And it's either you're going to do it or you're not. There's no halfway. The win-lose, for me, the way I connect into it is like it's either you're going to do it or you're not. It's all in and succeed, or it's do it halfway and you're going to fail. There's no halfway about this. You're either all in and you succeed, or you're halfway and you're going to fail. That's the win-lose here. And the battle here is like you're going into this feeling that way. Like either put all in, whatever direction you're going, and for example, if it's the business thing, you're like, I think I'm going to need to get some more education. I'm going to make a complete change. Whatever it is, you're committing to it. I'm all in. If I don't go all in, I'm going to fail. As in putting in the effort, going for the gold type feel. If it's the family thing, this is not easy. Whichever way it's going to, it's difficult because you're feeling the stress of this. Because if I do this, I really got to put in all the effort, and this is gonna be demanding. If it's a family thing where it's like a medical thing, and you're like, I share the ancestry, I'm going to try to cut out some fats or cut down dramatically what I have in fats. No more fast food, no more this type of food, or at least a lot less of this type of food. Maybe I'm only going to let myself have it like once every 2 weeks, if that. Or like if I, for example, if we have fried chicken, if I would normally have 2 to 3 pieces, I'll allow myself to have like maybe half a piece. Maybe 1 piece, whatever's right for me. It's definitely less. But there's other people involved here if it's the family thing. That's the weird thing. If it's going family, I'm getting there's more than one person involved in this decision. If it's work, it feels more about how you are going to decide to go forward and you buckling down and committing on your own. Because I'm getting what is this, the battles? Choose your battles. I feel you're battling yourself. Like, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Because if I'm going to do this, I need to be all in. Okay, now the card above here, which is another card for you, this is a very interesting card, especially in this deck, and I'm realizing this is a lot of times why I don't use some of these cards, because sometimes people get a little confused. Now, it says pets. Now, granted, if you have a pet, communing with your pet, that's great. Spending time with your pet, petting your pet, taking them for a walk, or whatever you got to do, that's great. Another way this card comes through, and I feel it's interesting, is like it's like being gentle with yourself. If you have an animal can help you. You're gentle with the animal, and you're gentle with yourself. It's like being nicer to yourself, giving yourself a break, just relaxing your energy. It's like as you're calm and nice to the animal, you're nice to yourself. And I'm saying animal just like your pet, I should say, because I have animals. And some days they are animals. But this is more about, to me, being nice to yourself. You love and understand animals, but I feel like this is saying you're kind to those creatures. Be kind to yourself the same way. Plan this out. What are you going to need to do? What type of time are you going to have on your hands? Can you schedule it out to where you can do a little bit every day and you're calm and collected and it's not overwhelming you? Or do you have to make sure that you stay on the ball? But how much, like, for example, if it's schooling, do you have to like do the whole, like a whole semester's worth of credits at once? Can you take one at a time? Maybe 2 classes at a time? Maybe take, how can you make this nice? Like, the pets card is like, be nice to yourself. That's a lot of times how I feel about it, because it's saying that care you would give to an animal, give that care to yourself as well. Especially if we're going down like for example, the food thing where you're going to cut out certain things. Like say, be nice to yourself. Don't go crazy. Don't make it like all or nothing. Diminish, and maybe diminish more over time. Like maybe you want to cut it down to half as much as you usually have. And then slowly, if you want it to be less, like diminish it down slowly as you need to. cutting it right out, like they're saying, that might be, you might set yourself up for failure because your body might really pull in a craving and it might be hard. For example, if you're like, oh, I shouldn't have chocolate cake, and I usually have a whole slice. Sometimes I have 2. Allow yourself to at least have half a slice, at least, and then just stop there. And then over time, if you want to try to cut it out or just make it like just a taste once in a while, then make it that, but be nice to yourself. And I know sometimes this card seems a little precarious. If you have pets, yes, spending time with your pets can be great, but especially in the realm of this reading, I don't feel like that's what we're talking about. I feel like they're saying be nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. See yourself as a human. And what would you expect of somebody else? Don't expect more from yourself than you would expect from somebody else. Be nice to yourself. Good? Okay, that seems to be what that's about. You can leave your comments below. If you think differently, let me know. That's how that card usually comes through. It's just, it's very peculiar because you'd think it'd be what it says, but again, I'm the person, I read them intuitively, and that's what I usually get off that one. Now, the next section you're going to, this, you got cards like flanking the bottom here, which are very connected, and I get that. Because I feel like whatever way you're choosing, you're having a hard time with it. Because I'm really feeling like this is the advice, be nice to yourself. Don't take it all on at once. Because I'm feeling like you're getting involved in the research, or you're either jumping in all at once, or you're involved in the research and you're getting overwhelmed. Because I'm getting the helpless and hopeless, and right below that is simply love, and right below that is moving on. I'm getting, if you're not careful, you're going to overwhelm yourself, and it's not going to last. It's going to fall flat. If you overdo it, if you do too much at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. It's going to feel overwhelming, and you're just going to you're going to like take a break from it, so to speak. But that's going to be the end of it. You're going to move on from it. And I'm getting like the other side, whatever you're getting here. If you have somebody helping you, or if you're just researching this yourself, you do have seek the truth here, which is good. It's like you're getting the truth about what the matter requires. So if we're going down the schooling route, you're seeing what that's really going to take, what options you have, how long it's going to take. And right on top of that, you have listen to your true feelings and water. Water is the emotions. The Pisces are water. Emotions, going with the flow of things. That's a big one I'm feeling right here. And listening to your true feelings. Like when you're pulling in this information, you're really feeling like, I'm getting like, if you take it all at once, like if you do it all at once and you just like, this is where I want to be, and you need to do it all at once, and that's how you approach it. Like, I have to do it all at once. I want to get it done. It's going to be overwhelming. I feel like it's going to be too heavy. You'll try. You might try, but I'm getting like it's not going to be long before you overwhelm yourself, and you're probably going to put it down and like give yourself a break that turns into a permanent walk away instead of a break. You might be looking at it like, well, I'm going to take a break from it for a moment because I feel a little overwhelmed, and I'll come back to it. But I don't feel like you'll come back to it. Just to be fair. For the majority of you, of course, a general read. What I'm getting here, the successful line is to do this, be nice to yourself, do this slowly, go into this slowly. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're pulling in, do it slowly. Don't start running. It's kind of like a baby starts to crawl, and then they walk usually, and then they run. Usually that's the case. I have heard of babies that just start off walking, but that's beside the point. In this situation, let's start off crawling. It's better for you. They're saying where this is ending up is imagine and observe. If you take this slowly and you just take a little bit at a time, for example, maybe you're just going to start off with one course because you're like, I need to see how overwhelming this is. So, for example, if you need a couple more years, or there's so many credits you need, whatever, and say there's like 15 courses you need to take, just for argument's sake. You start off, you just sign up for one. Just one, just to start, to see how that affects you. And then the next semester, if you can do more, you do 2. And then like you slowly build it up to where you feel comfortable. I feel like it's going to go by faster than you think. A lot of colleges, I believe, like, for example, there's the fall semester, there's like a winter break mini course thing, from what I remember. I haven't been in college in a long time. And then there's like the spring semester, and then the summer break. So I think there's 4 times a year you can sign up for courses. I could be flat out wrong. It might be just the college that I went to, but it feels like there's fall. There's like you take a compressed course. You can take a compressed course during the winter, depending on what it is, usually. Then there's the summer or the spring semester, and then there's usually there's a summer option too, with a compressed version of a course or two possible, which may or may not be available to you. And with online options, there's usually a lot of options to that. But I'm getting, if you start with one and observe how that feels, you can actually be successful. For example, again, if we go back to the other side, because I know we're doing 2 lines here, if you go the food route, you're cutting things down, you're cutting fat out, for example, and you're like, oh, I usually have 3 pieces of chicken. Cut it down to like a piece, or maybe a piece and a half, or like, you know what I mean, something like that. Even if it's just 2 pieces, you usually have 3, you're going to cut it down to 2 at first. Get yourself used to that, and then go a month or so, and then try to bring it down to 1. Slowly give yourself a chance to observe and feel how it feels to do that. Do it slowly. That's going to give you the success you want. If you jump right in, though, I just feel like you're going to get overwhelmed. And you'll be like, I need a break. The break just seems like it'll become like a permanent break, like done. I don't feel like you're meaning to do that, but I feel like that's where it's going to go. Is this good? All right. I feel like we got there. This was an interesting read. I haven't used these cards like this in a while, so it's interesting how this is coming through. I'm curious what you guys think of them. So thank you for watching. If you want to leave a comment, I appreciate it. I do read them. Usually don't have a chance to respond to them because I'm looking at them quick all at once, best I can. But thank you for those who do leave a comment. Of course, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.